Okay, guys, so for systems of equations, or for the next part of systems of equations, we started with graphing and now we're going to learn substitution. So it accomplishes the same thing as graphing did. We're trying to find what point do the two equations intersect. So we did that through graphing first, and now we're going to do it through substitution. And then finally we're going to do it through elimination. So we have three different techniques to accomplish the same thing, basically. And you can decide at the end which one you like best and which one is easiest for you. But you got to learn all three. So today we're only going to learn steps 1 through 3 of substitution. We'll move on to steps 4 and 5 later. But for right now, we're just focusing on getting the substitution taken care of. Okay, so step 1 is going to be finding an equation that looks like either x equals or y equals. So you'll have x, an equal sign, and then a bunch of junk after that. Or you'll have y, an equal sign, and a bunch of junk after that. So that's the first step. If you don't have one like that, then you have to solve the equation for x or y. And we'll get to that a little bit later on. So for us right now, the second step is going to be once we have identified the equation that has x. Sorry about that. So once we have identified the equation that has x equals or y equals, the equation that says x equals or y equals, then we're going to circle the stuff after that. Okay, like that. So for example, down here on the first problem, the one that says x equals or y equals is which one? Right, it's the top one. It would be that one. That's the one that has y equals and then a bunch of junk. So what we're going to do is, in step 2, circle the stuff that's after the y equals. Okay, let's take a minute to do that for 2 and 3 as well. So let's see, for number 2, both of them say y equals. So in this case, it really doesn't matter. Just pick one and circle it. Okay, and then for number 3, good. The top one is y equals, so we can go ahead and circle negative x plus 4. Okay, the third step is to substitute the blob, and we're going to call the blob the stuff that we just circled. So the stuff that I just highlighted that's inside the circle, that's the blob. Okay, and we're going to substitute it into the other equation. So think about what substitute means. It means we've got one thing and we change it or exchange it for another. So like if you go to the store and maybe you got a large and you really needed a medium, then you go to the store with your large and you say, I want to exchange it for a medium, and you give them the large and they'll give you the medium. Well, that's pretty much what we're going to do here. We're going to exchange a letter for one equation with the stuff that we circled in the other. So here's what that looks like. So for number 1, we will take this blob and substitute it in for the y, because it says that y equals x. So instead of putting in the y, we're going to put in what it equals, because we're trying to get rid of the y so that we only have x's. So here's what will happen. We'll have x plus, and then the stuff that we circled is 3x equals negative 32. So everything changed except for we took away the y and we put in the 3x. Okay? That's the only step that I want you guys to do right now on this page and the next page. So on Class Kick, you'll have a little dotted green box here at the bottom, and that's where you're going to type your answer. So in this case, I would type x plus 3x equals negative 32. Okay? Let's try that again on the second one. So we said that it really didn't matter on this one because they both said y equals. So we'll take the top one that we circled, and the bottom one has this y. So we're going to replace that y with that stuff. So that's going to be 9x minus 2 equals 3x plus 10. Okay, so in my dotted box down here on class kick, I'll write 9x minus 2 equals 3x plus 10. Now, if you ended up doing it the opposite way, you could have also done it 3x plus 10, or let's see, yeah, 3x plus 10 equals 9x minus 2. You could have done it either way. All right, so let's try the third one. So where should we go ahead and put the blob into? Right, down here where the y is next to the 6. So this will become 5x plus 6. Notice that I'm putting parentheses. Anytime you have something in front of the y, you want to put parentheses. So we'll do 6, and then negative x plus 4, that's our blob, equals 13. So the only thing that changed was we got rid of the y and we put in negative x plus 4. So notice that I don't have any y's left in my equation. So in my dotted box down here, I'll put 5x plus 6. Be sure you put your parentheses. Minus x plus 4 equals 13. And that's all I want you to do today. So you're going to go on the next page on Class Kick, and you are just going to do exactly what I did. There's a couple of them, like number 5 and number 8, that I want you to skip for now, but we'll go back to. Okay, so that's all for today. So you just need to fill in the big boxes today. Okay, ignore the little boxes. Ignore the little boxes, just fill in the big boxes. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.